welcome to Pyramid Knits. My name is Liz. I am a knitter and a natural dyer based outside of Taos, New Mexico. You are joining me here in my living room next to my Christmas tree. It is Saturday, December 25th, 2021, Christmas Day. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays, happy winter, happy sunshine. It's nice and sunny today. Yesterday was gross and it just like poured rain. Was hoping that we would get snow overnight, but nope. So it's just muddy. It's a muddy Christmas here. I wanted to, stop in and say hi to you guys. Enjoy some of the festive times and show you what I've been working on lately. Hopefully this will be kind of a quick one because frankly I have a lot of stuff to do today. I am making Christmas dinner and I have some errands to run and there's a pie involved. So let's get to it. Unfortunately I don't have any FOs because my FOs are here. I am gifting a hat. I probably won't even be able to insert pictures here. I'll just insert a picture like of the pattern, not of the one that I knit. But I did knit the Alatau out of the recommended yarn. So this is the yarn that I knitted out of, which was the Harrisville Nightshades. Turned out really well, super cozy. Whenever I try it on, it just feels like it's like hugging your head. Because the whole thing is really done in twisted ribbing. So that is going to get gifted today. And I have another one. And I think I took some video for Vlogmas of that one. So I'll just insert that here. It is a dog sweater for a Chihuahua. So that is going to get gifted probably on Monday. I'm not going to see her until Monday. But yeah, those are my two finished objects. And I knit the dog sweater out of super old stash from Knit Picks. Cadena, I think, was the yarn. It's like a wool alpaca blend and bulky weight. So I ended up knitting the dog sweater on size 9 needles, and it turned out great. Very cute. We'll see how the dog handles it. I designed it so that the dog can just like step into the sweater. Sorry. I also have a Christmas set that's not done yet, so I need to be knitting on that while I'm talking. Yeah, the dog had broken its leg at one point. A little Chihuahua broken leg, like so sad. Just the most pathetic. So he's got some issues with like putting on dog sweaters, that like go over the head. I mean, animal clothes are just kind of hard to deal with anyway. So I designed this one so it buttons up the back. So you can just like lay it out and like the dog can just like step into the sleeves and then you can pull it up and button it on the back. So we'll see how that works. I think there might be a chance that I'll have to rip back the sleeves and make them shorter if it's too hard to get into, or just take them off entirely and just finish off the armholes with like an I-cord or something. But that'll be super simple to do. It is a free pattern. It's custom fit dog sweater, I think. And it basically, lays out the calculations that you need to do. And you measure your dog and you plug and play and it, you have to do some thinking on your own. I definitely had to do some maths, particularly because, dogs are funny sizes and particularly Chihuahuas are funny sizes. So I did have to use my brain a little bit to figure this out. Plus I was modifying it to be a cardigan essentially. So that required a little bit of brain power too. But I think it's gonna fit really well. It looks like it's the right size. I'm really excited to see if it works. I hope it does. It's so cute. And I really do feel like it'll. Hey, Satya, no, don't be a jerk. He's upset that the cats are having fun. Yeah, I think it's gonna fit, and it's just, it's gonna be so freaking cute. And I think it'll help keep the dog warm too, because Chihuahuas are very thin, thin-haired, thin animals. It was so funny whenever I was taking the measurements of the dog. It was like 2 inches, 4 inches. Like, oh my God, you're so tiny. Yeah, so that'll be a fun one to gift. And those are my only FOs. I'm really close to being an FO with this one, which I have showed you guys before, probably a couple of times. This is the Minimalist Cable Cardigan, and it's essentially done. I have woven in the ends on half of it. You can see this half is nice and tidy, not so much this side yet. So what needs to be done with this yet is I am putting in afterthought pockets, which is not part of the pattern. So I've got one of them, and I finished off the opening. I did it just like an afterthought heel. I marked where I, wanted my opening to be, my pocket opening, and threaded my needle through on either side of one row of stitches. And then I snipped that center row, and then I used a tapestry needle to help unpick that one row in between, leaving me with an opening. And then I went in and picked up and made a little bit of ribbing for the front of the pocket, and I just cast off for the back portion. And with the ends, I'll just use that to like sew down the ribbing. Oh, this is so hard to hold up. Eagle-eyed may see what's coming here. Yeah, so it should sit nice and tidy like this, right? You will notice this is the bottom of the cardigan. And I put it on backwards. I put the ribbing on the top, and I bound off on the bottom. And that's not how a pocket works. So whenever I realized that I did that, I was just like, oh my God. Okay. I was really trying to get this done and like shipped before Christmas. But once I realized I had done that backwards, I was like, it's shipping after Christmas, and I am not dealing with it right now. So after Christmas, yeah, I'm going to have to go back in and unpick what I already did, and then knit the ribbing on the other side and bind off on the top. Knit the ribbing on the bottom and bind off on the top. And then I'm going to do sewn pockets and just sew those into the inside. And then I'll have to do that to the other side. And then I have to sew on buttons. And then it's done. And, as far as blocking, like, this is a seamed piece. So you knit the front left, the front right, and the back all separately. And then you seam it together. And then you pick up the sleeves and knit down. So whenever you do that, you block the body pieces before you seam it together. It just like makes your life so much easier. So the body of this has already been blocked. The sleeves haven't. And I think I'm not going to block this again before I gift it, because it's just going to take like so freaking long to dry. Like, this thing is big and long and has cables and ribbing, and yeah, I feel like it would just like, it's more trouble than I want to go to. And I don't think it really matters all that much. It's also being gifted to a knitter. Satya, stop. Sorry. It's also being gifted to a knitter. So she knows how to block things. If, the sleeves feel too tight, she can block it and they'll relax out a bit. So yeah, I guess the new goal is before New Year's in the mail for this one. The other thing I'm working on, frantically, is a DK weight sock. This is for my dad who broke his leg at the end of September. He's got an appointment with his orthopedist on Tuesday, and hopefully he's going to get the clear to start walking on it. But right now he's still kind of like hobbling around and on a little knee scooter, and he's got the big like Velcro soft cast thing, and his little toes just stick out the end. And I always think, oh, your poor toes are so cold. So I'm knitting him one sock for Christmas. I'll knit him the other one so, he can have a pair eventually, but he only needs one right now. Because he's always wearing like this, he got these nice woolen slippers from the Taos Wool Fest a couple of years ago. They're like all fleece wool lined and leather bottom and all that. So he wears that on his good foot, and then he's got his poor little toes sticking out, so he needs a sock. And this is yarn that I dyed in indigo absolutely forever ago. I think it's superwash, and I'm pretty sure it's DK weight. So I picked the Rye pattern from Tin Can Knits. It's a free pattern for the sock, which has a garter panel going across the top of the sock, which gives it a little bit of interest and a little bit of squish, which I think will be nice because he does have the big cast thing on too, so that'll give him a little bit more buffer from like all of the straps and things. I think it's superwash. Did I say that? I don't remember. Who knows? It's been in my stash forever. And I was getting closer and closer to Christmas and realizing I keep smacking this freaky Santa. He keeps spinning around and looking at me. It's kind of freaking me out. I knew I couldn't knit a fingering weight sock, so I was like, well, I gotta do like a DK or like a worsted weight sock or something. So I went and I looked and I was like, oh, the Rye socks are DK. Perfect. Nice and simple. That is one of those patterns that is great for beginners because it tells you everything. Like it really breaks down like what a sock is, how it's constructed, the reasons behind all of these things. And that, frankly, as an experienced knitter, is just confusing to me. The pattern, I don't know, it's like 6 or 7 pages long because it really just like explains how to make a sock. But I was like, it's just like too much information. I'm like, I just need to knit the sock. And I normally do my socks toe up with a short row heel because that's just easy to me and I can just go through it. The Rye socks are written top down with a heel flap and gusset. I can't be bothered with that, so I just took their garter panel and their full circumference stitch count and I just cast on at the toe and started going up, and I'm going to do a short row heel. So those are my modifications. Still the Rye sock. And yeah, it is Christmas Day. I'm trying to gift this today. I have just a few more rows, I think, before I can start doing the heel. And it can be a shorty. It doesn't have to be a tall sock. So I might knit like a 1/2 inch or 1 inch above the heel in pattern, and then switch to ribbing. So there is a chance that this could be gifted by this afternoon. Honestly, what's probably going to happen is I will get like halfway through the heel before I need to do other things. And I'm just going to have to wrap it up as is and gift it to him on the needles and finish it up while I'm there. or finish it up and give it to him tomorrow. But it's gonna get wrapped, it's gonna get opened, whether it's on the needles or not. And I just have to point out, I got these little stitch markers from Knit Picks, and they're just like the cutest things. They're these little succulent charms. Oh my god, they're so cute. I love them. Love them. Yeah, so this is my last minute Christmas gift knit, which may or may not get completed. In other festive knitting, I went off and cast on the Skandir festive sweater, knit along sweater. I think that's, I don't know what that's actually what it's called. I think it might be. It's just like such a classic Christmas sweater. It's all over color work with like trees and reindeer and snowflakes, and I love it. I waffled so much on the colors, and I finally settled on green and white. And I'm loving it so far. It's so much fun. I am noticing that I am quite tense when I'm knitting this, because I'm kind of stressed out about the color work, I think. So hopefully, as I go a little bit further on this, I just cast this on like 2 days ago. So that's pretty good. Also, yeah, this rye sock for reference I cast on yesterday, so it's going really fast. And I've been knitting a lot. Yeah, and this I cast on like 2 days ago. I've been knitting a lot the last couple of days. It's been great. It's been great. Yesterday it was just so cloudy and rainy and cold. I ended up having to make a fire. And then the whole day I was just like, well, I'm just sitting on the couch watching Christmas movies and knitting by the fire, like obviously. And I did, and it was fantastic. That means I have more stuff that I have to do today, which I am regretting a little bit, but it was really nice to just sit and knit. And all the color work on this I did yesterday. I did the cast on and all the ribbing and the short rows the first night that I worked on it, and then all of this color work I did yesterday. So yeah, I need to like relax my tension a little bit. But it's not too bad. Like the way it is now, it's gonna block out just fine. But the yarn I'm using is from Knit Picks. It's a Wool of the Andes Sport Weight. And the colorways are Oyster Heather for the white. It's off white. It's not a pure white. And I don't remember what the green one is. I should have the ball band in here. Oyster Heather, we know that. And the other one is, Aurora Heather. I never would have guessed that. But it's this beautiful, beautiful deep green. And, it's just like an emerald green. And I feel like there's blue undertones to it, but it does almost just go into, it doesn't go into a black, but I'm loving it so much. Loving it so much. And I got these cute little stitch markers at Hosser down in Santa Fe, which is my new favorite semi-local yarn shop. It's an hour and a half away, but there's no other decent shops around me. So, sucks to be me. And that's why you buy from Knit Picks. But the stitch marker, I love this. Whenever I walked into the store, I saw those the first thing that I saw, and I was like, okay, I'm buying those. They're from Native Knitter. She's based out of Albuquerque. She's also a designer. And it's just so simple, but I'm like, I want to knit like a Shetland style, Fair Isle using this kind of color combo. It just reminds me so much of, like this kind of style, but whenever there's a bunch of colors used, and you have that highlight row going through the middle where you just get a little pop with a bright color. Oh, so good. So yeah, this is my festive Christmas knit. Obviously it's not going to be done for Christmas. I just really wanted to cast it on before Christmas this year so that I could just start knitting on it. I just wanted to knit it so bad. So yeah, I'll probably keep working on this, you know, through New Year's, and then it'll get put in a bag and put away until probably next November. But that is to be expected. And that's part of the whole knit along too, is we're all kind of fully expected to just like let it hibernate for a long time. And we'll finish it next year. So also at Hosser in Santa Fe, I was down there with my dad. I had taken him down to a doctor's appointment in Santa Fe, so I made him go to a yarn shop. And he got me a Christmas gift. He got me a sweater quantity of La Bien-Aimée in the colorway Grello. And it's so pretty. Like, it's just so pretty. I'm not usually huge on the variegation, like variegated yarns. So I'm a little bit nervous about that. But I knit up the swatch. It's currently soaking so that it can dry out and I can measure my gauge this afternoon because I really want to cast this on today. I have so many things. Whenever he got me the yarn, I was like, this is going to be my Christmas cast on because it's Christmas. It's my Christmas present. So I'm going to cast it on Christmas. So I want to cast it on when I'm at my dad's house so I can be like, hey, this is the thing that you bought me and now I'm turning it into a sweater. So this one will not hibernate like the festive sweater will. I'm going to finish this one. This is their DK base, which I believe is 100% superwash merino. I don't think I have the tags in here. Oh well. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So it's going to be pretty lightweight. It's going to be a great spring sweater. I'm super excited. And I have one more Christmas project. I went off and did a crazy thing when I was down in Santa Fe. I picked up cross-stitch supplies. I had done some cross-stitch when I was a kid. My mom used to do some cross-stitch and she taught me how to do it. And I never finished anything. You know, I'd always not follow through on it. But there were always, you know, not that interesting of patterns, right? So anyway, I've been feeling feeling inspired to make more Christmas crafty things. And I've been watching a floss tuber down in New Zealand, Neat and Not by the Sea. And they do cross stitch. It's two friends. And it was just getting me kind of inspired. I was like, oh, those are really cute. Those are really cute. So then I went on Etsy and I searched for some cross stitch patterns and I found these freaking adorable, like Scandinavian style Christmas patterns. And I bought a whole like pack. It was like 5 patterns came in one. So I started on one and I'm a third of the way done now. Yeah. Super, super satisfying. I'm really enjoying it. My back looks absolutely terrible. You scary Santa. Whatever. I don't care. So once this is done, like I have no extra space on this thing. Like, oh well. Yeah, so once this is done, either I'm gonna, you know, mount it and like have it as something I could hang like on the wall or whatever. Or I'll put it onto like a pillow and I'll have a little set of Christmas pillows, you know. Not sure yet, but this is super, super fun. And again, same kind of thing. I'll probably keep working on this. Oh, I might work on this longer than that festive sweater. You know, through the winter, when it's still frosty outside, this still feels appropriate. Because it's not super Christmassy. I mean, there are trees with like decorations on them and little like ornaments and a reindeer and a Christmas chicken, clearly. in Christmas hearts, in Christmas houses. Yeah. Super fun, super satisfying. Really, really enjoying this. All of the other patterns that came in this pack are supposed to be on like different colored backing. There's 3 of them that are on a black and one that's like on a brown that looks more autumnal than Christmassy. So I think I might, you know, do that one next, like late summer, start working on that. Yeah, I imagine I'll probably do a lot of cross stitch during the summer, maybe, because that's not as hot as knitting and wool on your hands. And do one for fall, which is really cute. And yeah, all of the other ones are on the black background. And like there's one that's on the black background with like little snow foxes jumping everywhere. And I think there's one with like polar bears. So it's like these really stark contrast. I think they're going to be so cool. Yeah. So this is a fun new hobby to take up more of my time. Oh my goodness, what a cute kitten. She's just rolling around on everything. And gosh, you guys, I think that's it. That's it. I also have like so many other whips that I just haven't touched. Because, you know, stuff has taken priority. Like these things. And I haven't touched my spinning wheel in the last month, which I'm really bummed about. Like I keep walking past it and seeing the project that's like half on there. Oh, I don't know. I'm in an experimentation stage with my spinning, where I've been dyeing a lot of raw fleece with different natural dyes. And I'm playing around with blending those colors together and spinning them up. So I think it's like I have too many options. Like I don't have any pre-made braids or pre-dyed fibers or anything. I'm just like, it's like blank slate. You can do whatever you want. And it's kind of overwhelming. And it's kind of making me not be able to make decisions on what kind of colors I want to put together and where I really want to go with whatever yarn I'm spinning. Because I've been so much just in the experimentation phase of like, oh, just spin up a little bit of this, spin up a little bit of that. And I'm starting to feel like, okay, you need to get a cohesive idea going on and actually like follow through with a concept of a color concept and blend that and then spin that and finish a yarn in it, knit something with it to, you know, go through the whole process and sort of prove my color concept, right? It's just deciding on that color concept. Yeah. And also my dye studio is my back porch. And my dye studio is frozen currently. I still had liquid in my indigo vat it was an exhausted vat, but there was still water in the pot. And also my mordant pot still had liquid in it. And I went out there the other day and they're just frozen solid. Just absolutely frozen solid. I have a bucket of walnuts out there that I was soaking in water to do a walnut dye. It's just a block of ice. Like, oh, I think I missed my window. Yeah. So I'm at a little bit of a standstill with dyeing up new colors. I'm going to be kind of relegated to what I can do inside right now, which I really want to have a lot of ventilation for most of my natural dyes, either because of toxicity, especially whenever you're doing mordanting, or because it just stinks. There's a lot of dyes that just stink, or just have a very strong smell, even if it's not a bad smell. I mean, it's just gonna like permeate my house. Like, I am not doing a walnut dye inside. That stuff is nasty. Nasty smelling. For real. But like I would do a cochineal dye in my kitchen. I mean, especially like I can get a lot of ventilation in my kitchen, which is fine for most things, you know. I'll do a cochineal. I don't think I would do indigo. That's just too much of a production. Yeah, so I was thinking about doing some cochineal. I have a little bit of Saxon blue left, which is a type of indigo, which is actually what this was dyed with. It's indigo that's already been processed with sulfuric acid. It really was like one of the first acid dyes, and it makes dyeing with indigo just totally straightforward. I mean, it's an acid dye, right? It literally is. So yeah, I would do that inside. You know, some of the plant-based things. I've got dried flowers. I do those inside. Avocado. That smells kind of bad. That one smells kind of bad. Not super into doing that inside. I've got a bunch of Osage orange sawdust. Like I would do that inside. That doesn't smell like anything. And that's not toxic. It's just wood, you know, wood shavings. No biggie. Yeah, so there's still some colors that I can be doing during the winter, but the bulk of my natural dyeing is done until the spring. So yeah, I'm really hoping this winter to experiment more with my fleeces. I still have a lot of undyed fleece. I got a CVM fleece, which is a California variegated mutant. Weird name. And I washed all of it. I have warranted some of it. And yeah, I'm just trying to dye all of it up in different colors and then blend those colors together and make some really cool yarns. So that's kind of my winter natural dye project. And yeah, planning for next year, planning for next spring, and what I want to do next summer. And yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping to dye a lot more yarn next year. Get a lot more colors, get a lot more consistent with getting things up in my shop and all of that. Yeah. There is a lot of yarn up in there right now, though. If you guys want some, go buy some yarn and get it out of my house. I would very much appreciate it. Buy yourself a little Christmas present. Yeah, and I probably didn't say that at the beginning of the podcast either. You can find me on Instagram as Pyramid Dye Works or on Etsy as Pyramid Dye Works. Yeah, so go connect with me over in one of those places too. It'd be great to connect with all of you guys out there and see what you're doing with your fiber crafts and in your lives. I really love that about this whole knitting vlogging community, that I've connected with so many people just like all around the world. And it's really fun to, you know, kind of follow. I mean, obviously you're watching this, you're watching me, you know why it's fun. Anyway, drop a line, say hi. Yeah, and have a good Twixtmas, the week between Christmas and New Year's. I would say let's hope for better things in 2022, but I don't want to jinx anything. I do have some exciting things planned for 2022, which I'll get to next time. Yeah, so for now, stay cozy, stay warm, or stay cool if you're down in the Southern Hemisphere. Have a nice holiday time. Happy New Year. And yeah, I'll see you guys in about a month. Bye. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pyramid Knits. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Satya, no! Oh, this is just a disaster.